The English metaphysical poet John Donne's poem The Indifferent was published in 1633. It belongs to his collection of poems called Songs and Sonnets. In today's video, I am going to explain this poem line by line. The main idea that this poem wishes to convey is that all women are faithless. So, it is pointless for them to expect men to be faithful to them. I can love both fair and brown, her whom abundance smells, and her whom want betrays, her who loves loneliness best, and her who masks and plays, her whom the country formed, and whom the town, her who believes, and her who tries, her who still weeps with spongy eyes, and her who is dry corked and never cries. I can love her and you and you. I can love any, so she be not true. So, this is what the poet says. I can love both fair and brown. In other words, the poet means to say that he can love both fair complexioned women and dark complexioned women as well. Her whom abundance smells, he can fall in love with a woman who is rich and wealthy, her whom want betrays, and he can also love a woman who is living in poverty, her who loves loneliness best, and he can love a woman who loves to be alone, who leads a lonely life, and her who masks and plays, and he can also love artificial women. He can love and he can also love women who can entertain others. Her whom the country formed, he can love a rustic woman, and whom the town, and he can also love an urban woman. Her who believes, he can love a woman who believes in his love, and her who tries, and a woman who tests his love, he can love such a woman as well. Her who still weeps with spongy eyes, he can love a woman who is sentimental, who is emotional, and who has a weepy nature, and her who is dry corked and never cries. And at the same time, he can also love a woman who is unemotional, who is stone hearted, and who never cries. I can love her and you. In other words, the poet means to say that he can love just any kind of woman. I can love any, and so she be not true. And as a result, he also says that since he has this capacity to love a lot of women at the same time, he does not want any woman to be faithful to him. Will no other vice content you? Will it not serve your turn to do as did your mother's? Or have you old vices spent and now would find out others? Or doth a fear that men are true torment you? Oh, we are not. Be not you so. Let me and do you 20 know. Rob me, but bind me not, and let me go. Must I, who came to travail through you, grow your fixed subject because you are true? Now, here the poet becomes even more sarcastic towards women. He is addressing women and he is saying that will no other vice content you? That is, the vice that you are unfaithful. Is this the only vice that you are fixated with? Don't you don't you wish to get involved in some other kind of vice? Will it not serve your turn to do as did your mother's? Is it compulsory on your part to live that kind of vicious life that your mothers have lived? In other words, the poet means to say that your mothers have been unfaithful to their men, and as a result, you are also as unfaithful as your mothers. Will it not content you to live a different kind of life? Or have you all old vices spent? Or is it that all your old negative qualities, all your bad habits are gone and now you are interested in trying out new habits? Are you tired of all your old bad habits and want to experiment with new bad habits? And now would find out others, and now you are in the mood to experiment with new bad habits? Or doth a fear that men are true torment you? Or are you afraid that men are faithful? And does that give you a feeling of guilt? Oh, we are not, be not you so. And then he says, oh, we men are not faithful to our women, and so you women should not be faithful to us. Let me and do you 20 know. So let me know and love 20 other women, and similarly, you should also love 20 other men. Rob me, but bind me not. That means rob my heart, loot me, plunder me, break me, but don't bind me. Don't compel me to love only you and let me go. That means do not tie me to you. Must I, who come to travail through you, must I, who has faced so much, who has endured so much of pain and suffering because of you, grow your feet subject because you are true? Just because you are faithful to me, do you think that it is a must on my part to be faithful to you? Just because you think that you are faithful to me? Venus heard me sigh this song, and by love's sweetest part, variety she swore. She heard not this till now, and that it should be so no more. She went, examined, and returned ere long, and said, alas, some 2 or 3 poor heretics in love there be, which think to establish dangerous constancy. But I have told them, since you will be true, you shall be true to them who are false to you. Now, Venus, the Roman goddess of love and beauty, Venus heard me sigh. Venus heard the speaker sigh. That means sing this song. This song celebrating the faithlessness of women. Venus heard me sigh this song, and by love's sweetest part, variety she swore, she heard not this till now. So Venus said that she had no idea that variety is something that gives so much joy and happiness, and that it should be so no more. And she had not heard that uh, constancy should not be explored by women, that women should be faithless. This is something she had not heard before. So she went, examined, and returned ere long. So she went out, had a study, had an observation of the situation, and returned ere long. She returned before long and said and told her findings. She talked about her findings, what she had discovered. She talked about it to the poet. Alas, some 2 or 3, and she said that sadly, there are some 2 or 3 women, poor heretics, mad women, in love there be, and these women are madly in love, which think to establish dangerous constancy. And these women have the plan to be faithful to their men, to be loyal, faithful, dedicated, devoted to their men, devoted in love. But I have told them, but Venus also said to the speaker that she had given some advice to these women who intend to be loyal to their men. Since you will be true, Venus told these women that if you want to be faithful to your lovers, to your menfolk, you will be true to them who are false to you. You will be loyal to those kind of men who are not going to be loyal to you, because men have no intention at all to be faithful to their women, because they know that women are inconstant And so men also want to be equally inconstant or unfaithful. So men are totally indifferent to women. They can love any kind of woman. So there is really no point on the part of women to try to be faithful to their lovers. That's what the poem is all about. And this is all for today. Until the next time we meet again. Bye.